We haven't really had a lot of luck with Canada. I think Canada could be one where they'll just pay tariff.
Potato chip aficionado, they might remember that back in around 2017, so about 7 years ago, there was the great potato chip shortage.
Significant market, long-term relationships there. Anything that would impact that is obviously of huge concern.
We'll come out stronger for it in the end. In the meantime, it could be painful.
Someone steals a box, a fryer hisses, and a simple side dish turns into a quiet economic puzzle. In a matter of a once reliable potato flow between two long-standing neighbors slowed down so drastically over the course of many weeks that menus changed before news stories did. As prices gradually increased and servings shrank, perplexed patrons questioned why a comfort food suddenly felt less pleasant. Officials used cautious wording. Schedules were rearranged by processors, and trucks ceased to arrive at known loading bays. Though not in the manner that most people initially thought, something had changed. Remember that a surprise reason lurks just out of sight. And later in this film, we will make it public. Let's start by tracing the journey of a potato from dirt to skillet and discussing how a single policy change can have a dramatic impact on family budgets, local eateries, and refrigerated warehouses. Make sure to click the like button before we start. It enables us to circumvent YouTube's algorithm. Crossbar rhythm kept the fryers hot for years, while processors cleaned, chopped, blanched, and frozen the tubers for steady shipping to neighboring states where winters persist and demand remains high. Farms in cooler coastal provinces planted, harvested, and stored tubers bred for reliable frying. This collaboration wasn't new. Seasons of practice have honed the logistics. Drivers are aware of which warehouses turn trucks the fastest. Growers are aware of when contracts will renew, and short-haul routes lower costs and spoilage. Restaurants were designed with that dependability in mind. Within a day, a case may go from a refrigerated room in one town to a grill line in another. This predictability reduced risk, maintained price stability, and essentially maintained the crunch of each order of fries from week to week. Please click the subscribe button before we proceed. It greatly aids in the channel's expansion. After that, there was a sudden shift in policy that imposed a significant tax on imported potato goods. The declared goal was consistent with well-known concepts of trade balance and domestic producer protection. However, the immediate effects were felt by customers initially in the texture of the food and on the receipt. After the levy and related costs, a bag that previously cost $22 would now cost about $30, and a plate that used to cost $3.50 might now cost around $5.25. Even if precise numbers differ by area and contract, the trend was clear. Businesses had to choose whether to absorb the impact, cut portions, transfer suppliers, or modify recipes in order to preserve margins as costs increased throughout the supply chain. As a mental experiment, think about a single chilled container. Assume that prior to policy changes, a mid-size processor regularly shipped a volume of frozen fries worth $32,000. The landed cost can increase by over $10,000 when a tax of around 1/3 is added, along with increased insurance and handling. That extra sum